Hi, my name is Yatharth, and today I will be talking about the third lab on the Data 301. To start with, let's go with 3A. I already have my Jupyter notebook running. So this has the Python fundamentals, and I learned the basics of functions, creating functions, because it's one of the most important parts of writing Python code or any kind of code, because functions makes it easier for us to utilize and organize code. So clearly, we use this format where we write the solution and write the, for example, we use this, like we have the solution as the name of the function, and then we have parameters a, b, and c. Luckily, Python actually recognizes a, b, and c as per the format which is given down, or the function given down. Moving on, we will be using the functions file to actually work with files, which is mostly used in data analytics, because data science in general, because we'll be working with files. So in this, I have attempted to list all the directory files, which are only files marked as .text, and that's the function which I've used. Clearly, you can see that it's just a for and an if loop which works together. It's a nested loop which got me the answer. Similarly, I did the same thing with directories. Instead of using uh, is file, I used isdir on the other. So on this we have just is file, but here we have isdir. Moving on, I wrote a Python code which didn't exactly print this output at this clean, but with the os.walk function, os.walk function, I was able to at least get an answer which looks something like this. Here again, it's all functions which have been predefined, and we just use those functions and make our own functions out of them, which are pretty helpful. Moving on, NumPy was another really helpful tool which helps us create arrays, empty arrays, and all empty arrays and other type of objects. So first question which just asked us to fill 10, like create an empty vector with the size 10 and fill it in an. So I just did that here by creating a empty vector and adding 10 nans. Uh, it was very interesting to see how these functions can be used to actually find maximum, minimum, and start like analyzing it from there. So you have basic NumPy functions which we have used to find out the minimum, maximum, sum, and the mean. Uh, Here we have the same factors again. So this was a little tricky because first we had to actually find the mean of a random array and then replace the highest and the lowest value with 0 and 100. So if you can note, if you see here, the highest and the lowest value has been replaced by 100. So the lowest value has been replaced by 100, which was 11 here, and the highest value has been replaced by 0, which was 78, and hence there's a difference in mean. Moving on, we as dictionaries and lists and data manipulation is something which we will be working with. Hence, we have created. I learned to create like this dictionary and how to work with the dictionary, and then the actual pandas data frame, which really helped understanding how data frames work. Like this example right here really helped me understand how we can represent a data frame or a data set. Moving on, I had the 3B, which was mostly related to working with pandas and working with pandas and its functions. So the basic one is the pd.read underscore csv, which is all the CSV files to read under this specific path. It was pretty helpful because you really need to learn to understand how to read CSV before you can do any analytics. Hence, this was really helpful. So I learned how to write the data frame.count, which helped me list the number of Pokemons. And this helped me take out the specific Pokemon which I want, which is only the first generation Pokemon. Moving on, we found the mean of all the HP, the attack, the defense, and speed, and lists out the. So I listed out all of them, and you can get the result of what the mean is. Moving on, we use Seaborn and Matplotlib, which helps us plot graphs and you gives us the like a physical representation of our data, where we can see have a bar graph here and bar graph, and we have multiple. So we made multiple bar graphs. So using that same we used a different CSV file here. Sorry, and we were able to get all the COVID cases in Canada. So this is represented just by sex. This is how if we have to represent it by age in a specific order. I have my results right there. Uh, this was an interesting one, another interesting one where you could have multiple factors to show. For example, you have the area where the cases were and whether they were male, female, or undefined. So you can see that has been written here. Then we go for a data wrangling, which helps us create any string types to an object type, where these were all reported dates with strings, and we converted into object types. With that, we were able to use a lot of functions. Like for example, this was just general conversion, but this really helped us when we were able to get the earliest and the latest COVID cases. And lastly, uh, we were able to create a histogram, which helped us actually work around with which helped us represent the different count and the days since with the three factors. Overall, this lab was very resourceful, and I think this will help us throughout the project and in general understanding of data analytics. Thank you.